director here at Cortland Bible Club Camp. I want to thank you for stopping by. You know, as I thought about what to share with you to let you know a little bit about what happens here at camp, I thought about all the fun activities that camp has, whether it's swimming in the pool or playing games outside, doing archery or crafts, or singing around the campfire. We do a lot of fun things at camp. But one of the most meaningful things about camp is the friendships and relationships that are built here. You know, so to talk about that, I thought I would share a friend with you. This friend has been with my family, living at various camps for a number of years. And his name is Rocky. And Rocky and I have had a lot of fun times together. He enjoys camping and being outdoors. We've had fun with some of my friends at different times. In fact, one time I took Rocky out to eat at a restaurant, and that story ends with free pie, so you know it's a good story. But Rocky has a few unique features. One of the most unique things about Rocky is that, well, he has no legs, because Rocky's not a real animal. He's a puppet, a spring puppet. So inside him, wound up around his body, is like a bed spring. So because of that, a little motion on the outside with my fingers makes him move around. Just a little twitch with my fingers makes it look like he flicks his tail. And when I really want to fool somebody, when they start to get close, I'll gently blow on the top of his head, and the fur looks like it is a furrowed brow. So what does Rocky have to do with friendship and with camp? Well, Rocky is unique, as I said before. It's that spring that's inside of Rocky that makes him work, makes him do what he does. It's what's on the inside that's important. And that's true of camp as well. It's what's on the inside that's important. As I've been sharing about what happens at camp, I wanted to share with you a story about how God feels that it's what's inside that's important too. You know, in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, we read the story of when David was anointed king. David was anointed king while there was still a king in the palace. King Saul was still alive and acting as king, but God had rejected him because King Saul had put himself in the place of God. He thought that it didn't matter, that God wasn't happy with what he was doing because he was the king, and he thought that there was nothing more important than that. But because of his attitude, because of what was inside his heart, God rejected King Saul and sent Samuel to anoint a new king. In fact, God sent Samuel to Bethlehem, to the house of Jesse, and told Samuel that one of Jesse's sons had been chosen to be the next king. So when Samuel came, Jesse presented his eldest son to him. And Samuel thought, wow, this fellow's young and strong and good-looking, intelligent. I bet this is the one that God has chosen. But God told Samuel, no, I have rejected him. 6 more times Jesse brought a son before Samuel, and each time God said, no, this is not the one. When all of the sons that were there had been brought before Samuel, but no king had been found, Samuel did not doubt God for one moment. God had told him that it was the son of Jesse. So he questioned Jesse and said, do you have any other sons? And Jesse said, I have one who's out in the field. His name is David. And they sent for David. And David came before Samuel, and God said, yes, this is the one that I have chosen. God said, as Samuel was wondering why the first brothers were rejected, that man looks on the outward part, but God looks at the heart. The Bible tells us that David had a heart after God's own heart. And while he wasn't perfect, and he sinned and did some wrong things, when he was confronted with that sin, when he realized what he had done, his heart was very different than that of Saul. And this was why God chose him. So not only was David a shepherd and a king, but David was also a musician. And when when he was confronted with his sin, he responded to God in a wonderful way, and he wrote it down in a song. Now, I'm going to sing that song for you now. It's not the language that David wrote in, but the words came from David. It came from his heart. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, O Lord, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and renew a right spirit within me. David realized that he couldn't make his sin right. He needed God's help. He needed God to create a clean heart in him. He needed God to clean him up on the inside, because it's what's on the inside that matters. That's what we talk about here at camp, and that's what you're learning there at VBS. Wish I could be with you, but I hope you're having a great time. God bless you.